Ahsoka Season 2 must address one major inconsistency with Ahsoka Tano's character that was introduced in Season 1. Ahsoka proved to be one of Star Wars' best TV shows in its debut season, seemingly confirmed by the show's upcoming second installment. Updates on Ahsoka Season 2 remain ongoing, but the show will no doubt pick up where the Ahsoka Season 1 finale left off, with Ahsoka and her Padawan Sabine Wren trapped on Peridea while Ezra Bridger and Imperial villain Thrawn return to the main Star Wars galaxy. However, while the show effectively connects to Star Wars movies and TV shows throughout the Star Wars timeline, it also introduces some contradictions. One such contradiction came with the revelation that Ahsoka had taken on Sabine as a Padawan. While some audiences found this update unfavorable because Sabine hadn't previously demonstrated an aptitude with the Force, a much more glaring inconsistency threatens to form a somewhat nonsensical plot if not addressed in Season 2. Rosario Dawson made her debut as the live-action Ahsoka in The Mandalorian and returned in the Book of Boba Fett. Both shows are set before Ahsoka and have a very different focus. In each, Ahsoka acts as a type of intermediary between Luke Skywalker and Din Djarin after Luke takes Grogu to train him as a Jedi in The Mandalorian Season 2 ending. Part of that role, however, includes upholding the archaic Jedi rule against attachments. Throughout the Star Wars prequel trilogy, the Jedi Council makes known their concerns about attachments. In fact, from the moment young Anakin Skywalker arrives on Coruscant, the Jedi are suspicious and withdrawn, worried that Anakin's 9 years with his mother will mean dangerous attachment that could tempt him to the dark side of the Force. While the rule about Jedi not being allowed to form or keep attachments extends beyond and predates Anakin, it became a focus of the Jedi pertaining to him. Perpetuating this rule, despite some of its flaws exhibited throughout the prequels, Luke and Ahsoka come to the mutual understanding that Grogu cannot remain attached to Din Djarin and train as a Jedi at Luke's temple. Ultimately, Luke forces Grogu to pick between the path of a Jedi and a life with Din Djarin. Ahsoka, despite seeing the pitfalls such rigid rules against attachments can bring about, was in full support of this decision by Luke. In fact, she had already scared Din Djarin off, not permitting him to see Grogu lest he distract him. Although Ahsoka was dedicated to maintaining this Jedi rule throughout The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, by Ahsoka, she seems to have changed her tune without any explanation. In fact, this change of heart happened well before Ahsoka, pushing it even further into the Mandalorian timeline, only making things more confusing. Ahsoka, by taking Sabine Wren on as her Padawan, completely abandoned the resolute reservations about attachments she had so blatantly had in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Sabine Wren, arguably even more than Grogu, had significant attachments. Despite more than a decade passing since Star Wars Rebels when Ezra Bridger disappeared, the start of Ahsoka reveals that she never gave up her desperate search for him. Rather, she is obsessed with finding him, so much so that it comes up multiple times in the first episode, culminating in Ahsoka discovering that Sabine keeps the hollow message from Ezra asking her to find him readily available to her. Moreover, Sabine had considerable time to form attachments, coming to see the Rebels' ghost crew as family. This decision to take Sabine Wren on as a Padawan in spite of her clear attachments and tumultuous feelings completely undercuts Ahsoka's position on attachments in The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett. Moreover, it makes her choices downright confusing. It isn't clarified when or why she had such a sudden change in perspective and, if anything, it makes her character seem contradictory.